They have still continued to send messages to me from various accounts and email addresses, and at this point, I'm not even bothering to block them anymore because what's the point? They're just gonna create new ones to try and apologize to me, and I'm gonna just keep ignoring all of it. Anyway, let's see how long they can keep this up and how sorry they are about everything. Moving on to the other problem that we were dealing with, my wife and I had no idea how to deal with the situation with my daughter. We do have a name since my parents had told me her full name and where she goes to college while we were talking the other day, so we have managed to trace her. My assistant managed to find her social media accounts for me, but so far, I haven't done anything. I don't even know if it's appropriate for me to do anything, and neither do I have any idea how I'm supposed to tell her that I am her actual biological father. She is not a minor, so obviously, I can't just show up at Amy's house, demanding custody and stuff, and honestly, I would much rather not have her involved in this at all because after what I found out about her, I have lost all respect for that woman and my entire family. They are all just a bunch of spineless cowards, and I want nothing to do with them. But I can't say the same thing for my daughter because no matter who she has been raised by, she is still my flesh and blood. Anyway, if anybody has any advice on how to go ahead and talk to her about this or whether I should even be doing that or not, please let me know. Also, thank you to everybody who responded to my original post and commented on it. It was really helpful, and I'm hoping that you guys can help me out once again here now. Update 2. Hey, so after going through the comments, on my update from 3 days back, my wife and I just decided to go for it. There was no point in waiting for the right time or the right opportunity to text my daughter, we just had to rip off the band-aid and be done with it. And because she lives in a different state and we don't think that it would be the right thing to do to fly out to her, we decided to send her a message first and see how that goes. So, we reached out to her on Instagram, explained everything to her as nicely as we could, and now we are waiting for a response from her. I'm sure it's gonna be really complicated to come to terms with it. It is complicated for me as well, and I don't even understand how my wife has managed to be so supportive, knowing that I'm reaching out to the long-lost daughter whom I had with my ex-wife. I'm sure it's a lot of complicated emotions for all of us, but we are trying our best, and I'm really hoping that my daughter reaches back out to me because I would really love to have a relationship with her. Now, coming to my parents and what they are up to, they haven't shown up at my workplace in a really long time, and yesterday, they sent me a really long email saying that they were really sorry about everything, but they genuinely want to repair their relationship with me and they just need one chance for me. They told me that they wouldn't be reaching out to me again, but they're gonna wait for me to reach out to them instead. Honestly, I'm kind of relieved that they took the hint and realized that I really don't want to speak to them right now. I already have a lot on my plate to be dealing with at the moment. The last thing that I need is for them to create more drama. Now, I'm just hoping that they stick to what they said, and do not reach out to me again. If I feel ready or if I want to speak to them at any point, I will do so myself. However, right now, it seems very unlikely that it's going to happen anytime soon because now that I know the real reason that they hadn't spoken to me in 20 whole years, the situation has become much worse with them. I feel betrayed and hurt, and I don't think that's going to go away anytime soon. At least, the one good thing that came out of this was that I found out about my daughter, and now, I really hope that she decides to give our relationship a chance. I haven't told my son about this yet, just in case she doesn't want to talk to us. I wouldn't want to give him false hope. But if things go well, he might find a sister in her, and I might be able to get to know the daughter that I never knew I had. I just have a lot of emotions right now and I'm really trying hard to keep it together. Update 3. Hi. So almost 2 weeks ago, I reached out to my daughter on social media, and I sent her a message, telling her everything about who I was and how she was related to me. After that, for 2 weeks, I waited for her to respond, and today, I finally got a text back. She didn't say much, just told me that she had spoken to her mother about me after my message and had finally found out that I was her biological father. Obviously, this had come as a shock to her because, for the past 20 years, she had believed that Carl was her biological father and had no idea that she wasn't his daughter. She had also found out the real story behind how her mother and I ended up like this and told me that she would like to meet me and my family. So we are all flying out to see her this weekend since she's not speaking to her family right now, so she doesn't have the funds to come see us. She didn't get into the details, but when she confronted Amy about the message that she had received, at first Amy tried to deny it, but then she was forced to tell her the truth. I haven't heard from Amy yet, and I really hope that she doesn't contact me because I don't want to speak to her. However, my family did break their promise immediately and started trying to talk to me as soon as they found out that I had reached out to my daughter. Apparently, my uncle was furious that I had found out about it, and naturally so because they had spent 20 years trying to make sure that I never found out so I wouldn't cause any trouble in their life. But now, I finally knew, and of course, my uncle was holding my parents responsible for all of this. My dad doesn't even work for him anymore, He is his independent business, but for some reason, he is still terrified of his older brother and has been begging me to tell my uncle or Carl or somebody that they did not have anything to do with this and that I found out on my own somehow. Even if I did do that, I think it's highly unlikely that anybody would believe it because they are the only people likely to do something like this since I haven't ever been close to most of my family, and they haven't bothered to speak to me in the past 20 years. It's funny how desperate they are acting right now, just so that they don't lose the relationship that they have with my uncle, but honestly, I don't really care. It was because of them that I did not have a relationship with my daughter for 20 years of our lives, so I think this is really the least that I can do for them. Update 4. Hello, everyone. So today, my family and I finally met my daughter. It was weird at first, and then it was really emotional, but mostly, it was just beautiful. She seems to be a really kind and good human being, which is weird because she was raised by two of the cruelest and most horrible people I know. But I guess they did a good job raising her, or maybe it's just her own innate nature, but whatever it was, she seems to be a really intelligent and mature girl. We had a long chat about how things were going with Amy and her father, and she told me that they were naturally not on board with her meeting us, but she didn't care because after she found out the truth, she simply didn't care what her parents thought. They did not have any kids after her, she is their only child, so she doesn't think that she's gonna abandon them forever, but she's definitely going to distance herself from them for a while and try to process all of this. She told me that she needs some time to start building a relationship with me as well. She just is in a very weird place mentally right now, and I totally understand. But overall, we had a really nice time, and she really seemed to get along with my wife and her half-brother as well. We had dinner together, and we found out that my parents, her grandparents, had been in touch with her all along, and she always found it weird how emotional they were about her, considering the fact that they were not her actual grandparents but her grandfather's brother's family. But now, it all makes sense why they were so attached to her. However, after everything that she has found out, she sees all of them in a different light, and so do I, so I can completely understand how she feels. Well, maybe not completely because I'm a lot older than her, and she's just 20, so she's probably finding it a lot more difficult to deal with because she has been lied to her entire life by the people she considered to be the closest to her. But anyway, both of us are gonna have to work on this, and hopefully, the future will be better. I know it has to be because we're going to try and make it the best. All I'm really happy about is that the meeting went well and my family seems to be really content after all of this, and so am I. I'm quite content with the situation as well, regardless of what my family has done or what Amy and Carl have done. What matters is that at least now, after so many years, we have a chance at making things right, and I'm gonna make the most of that chance.
Thanks for joining me on this wild ride. If you loved this story, make sure to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe for more shocking tales of family drama and Reddit gold. Want to hear another crazy story? Click the video right here. Until next time, stay curious.